It's such a common thing, isn't it, to feel like you're sort of drifting. You might have a good job, friends, everything seems okay on the surface, but deep down, there's this feeling like you're missing some kind of deeper current, a real sense of direction.
That really resonates. That sense of searching for something more, even if you can't quite name it.
Exactly. And then sometimes something shifts. It might not be loud or dramatic, maybe just a quiet thought that keeps coming back, a feeling that won't quite go away. Today, we're exploring that kind of profound internal nudge, especially when it feels like a call, an invitation to something bigger.
It's fascinating, really, and I think many people listening might feel that same pull, that subtle whisper deep inside, but maybe they struggle to articulate it or even fully recognize it.
Right, or maybe they dismiss it.
Yeah, maybe they think, oh, I'm not worthy of that, or perhaps they're just afraid of what it might mean, what it might demand.
That makes sense. Change can be intimidating.
Absolutely. But what consistently comes through in exploring this idea is this powerful message of unconditional acceptance. It's like a persistent invitation. It seems to look past our flaws, our doubts, offering a path to real meaning, regardless of our history.
Okay, that's a really important point to start with, unconditional. So let's try and unpack this a bit. When we talk about a profound call like this, what does it actually look like? Is it always, that big, dramatic, life-changing event, or is it often something quieter?
That's a great question. And what's really insightful is the emphasis on it not always being loud or dramatic. Quite the opposite, often. Yeah. It's frequently described more as a gentle but persistent conviction. Think of it less like a thunderclap and more like a quiet hum in the background of your life.
A hum. I like that.
Yeah, something that resonates deeply, keeps nudging you, It's a sense of purpose that often clarifies slowly, gradually. It's about learning to recognize that resonance, however subtle it might seem at first.
Okay, so not waiting for the lightning bolt, but listening for the hum, that changes things. And this idea, this hum, it's not exactly new, is it? It feels timeless. This concept of a call echoes through so much of history, through foundational stories. Can you give us some examples? How does it show up in those big narratives?
Oh, absolutely. The pattern repeats, but often with really interesting nuances when you look closely. Take Moses, for instance. The burning bush was very dramatic, right? But what's often emphasized is his resistance. His initial reaction wasn't, okay, let's go. It was doubt. It was arguing.
He made excuses, didn't he, about not being a good speaker?
Exactly. He listed all the reasons why he was the wrong guy. It shows how even a really profound, undeniable call can be met with, human insecurity, self-doubt. It wasn't this heroic leap. It was more like a hesitant step after a lot of nudging.
That's much more relatable, actually.
It is. Then think about Samuel. He was just a boy asleep. He hears a voice, and what does he do? He assumes it's his mentor, Eli.
Right, he runs to Eli.
3 times. That detail speaks volumes about how subtle the call can be, how easily we might mistake it for something familiar, something mundane, until its persistence makes us stop and really listen differently.
So it might not announce itself clearly at first.
Often not. And then you have Isaiah, a very different response. After this incredible vision, he hears the question, whom shall I send? And his immediate response is, here am I, send me.
Wow, straight away. No hesitation there.
Right. But it's presented not as arrogance, but as this moment of profound clarity, humility even, a sudden understanding of purpose and a willingness to just be used. So you have the reluctant leader, the listening child, the willing prophet. It shows the call can come to anyone, anywhere, often in surprising ways.
Those examples really highlight that it's less about our qualifications and maybe more about, the call itself. But that brings up a big question. If the call can be persistent, purposeful, why do so many of us hesitate? What holds us back? It can't just be about not hearing it, surely.
No, you're right. It's often deeper than that. The inner barriers are significant. Fear is a huge one. Just plain fear.
Fear of what, specifically?
Fear of the unknown, mostly. Fear of the change it demands. Stepping out of our comfort zone can be terrifying. Fear of failure, too.
Yeah.
What if I try and I mess it up?
Yeah, that's definitely a big one. And what else?
Well, linked to that is insecurity. That nagging voice saying, who am I to do this? I'm not smart enough, not talented enough, not whatever enough.
That feeling of inadequacy.
Precisely. And another major barrier, often unspoken, is our past. Past mistakes, failures, things we regret. People often carry this belief that their history disqualifies them, that they're too flawed to be used for anything meaningful.
carrying that baggage.
Exactly. But here's the really powerful counter-narrative that comes through again and again. The call often seeks out the unlikely. It frequently bypasses the ones who seem perfect on paper. It embraces those who feel flawed, those who society might overlook, those who see themselves as disqualified.
So our imperfections aren't necessarily deal breakers.
Not only that, sometimes they might even be part of the qualification in a strange way. It's about availability, about an open heart, not about being perfect. Willingness over polished credentials.
That's quite liberating, actually. Okay, so for someone listening now, maybe feeling that gentle nudge you mentioned, but they're not sure. Is it real? Is it just me? How can you start to recognize those signals? What are the practical signs?
That's the key question, isn't it? Discernment. Well, one clear sign is those repeated nudges. It's not just a one-off thought. It's an idea or a feeling that keeps coming back. Gently, maybe, but persistently, like a tap on the shoulder that you keep feeling.
The thought that won't leave you alone.
Exactly. Another powerful indicator is often described as a burden on your heart. This is more than just feeling sorry about something. It's a deep, sustained concern, a passion for a particular issue or maybe a group of people.
Like something you feel compelled to do something about.
Yes, it weighs on you. You can't stop thinking about it. It feels personal, urgent, even if you don't know what to do yet.
Yeah. Okay, repeated nudges, a burden. Anything else?
A third really practical sign is noticing doors opening unexpectedly. Things just seem to align. An opportunity pops up out of nowhere. You meet someone who has exactly the connection you need. Circumstances shift in a way that clears a path.
Almost like coincidences, but maybe not.
Kind of feels that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Like external events are subtly confirming those internal feelings, pointing you in a specific direction.
Right. Okay, so you recognize the nudges, you feel the burden, you see the doors opening. What then? Recognizing is one step, but responding. That feels like the hard part, especially if it pushes you outside your comfort zone. What are the steps to actually answer that call?
Well, the core elements seem to boil down to three things, really. They're interconnected: obedience, prayer, and trust.
Okay, let's break those down. Obedience.
Obedience here means taking action, aligning your actions with that conviction you feel, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you don't see the whole path. It's about moving. It's the doing part, even if the first step feels really small.
Taking that first step, even if it's tiny.
Exactly. Then prayer, or you could think of it as deep reflection or contemplation. This is about seeking guidance, strength, tuning in more deeply to that inner voice, that source of the call. It's listening, clarifying, finding the resolve to keep going.
So not just asking, but listening to.
Very much so. And finally, trust. This is huge. It means relying on that higher purpose, even when things are uncertain. Letting go of the need to have everything figured out before you start.
That's hard for a lot of people. We like certainty.
We do. But trust here means surrendering the outcome, believing that if you take the step, the next one will become clear. And crucially, it usually starts with small steps in faith. Manageable actions. You don't often have to leap off a cliff immediately.
Small incremental steps. Build momentum.
Precisely. Start where you are with what you have. See what happens next. You know, digging into this really highlights something powerful. It's about acknowledging our flaws, our fears, and yet choosing to ask for the courage to respond anyway. That attitude, that here am I, send me, spirit, it's transformative.
It shifts something, doesn't it?
It really does. It moves you from just thinking or feeling or even struggling internally into active participation, turning that quiet hum into something tangible in the world.
And I think for you listening, hearing this,
Yeah.
it just underlines how valuable it is when we share these moments. When you talk about feeling that sense of purpose, responding to that call in your own life, however it happened for you, your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now.
Yeah.
It creates this ripple effect, doesn't it? Encouragement, inspiration.
Absolutely. We learn so much from each other's journeys.
So just to quickly recap where we've been today, we talked about what this profound call might actually feel like often, that gentle, persistent conviction, not necessarily fireworks. We looked at timeless examples like Moses, Samuel, Isaiah, seeing how they navigated their own calls, the reluctance, the listening, the willingness. We also talked honestly about why we hesitate, fear, insecurity, past mistakes, but also the incredible idea that the call often finds the unlikely. We touched on practical ways to recognize it. Those repeated nudges, that burden on your heart, the unexpected open doors. And finally, how to respond. Through obedience, prayer or reflection, and trust. Starting, crucially, with those small, faithful steps.
Which leads to perhaps a final thought for you to carry with you. If this call is often gentle and the response begins with small steps, what's one tiny nudge, maybe something you've dismissed in your life recently? A recurring thought, a subtle feeling, a quiet curiosity. Could that be an invitation to something more? Just something to ponder that quiet, persistent presence of purpose that might be woven into the fabric of your everyday life, waiting to be noticed.